There are not many products that come out for guitar these days that really impress me, and even fewer that I would say every guitarist should have. But every now and then something will come out that I think is worth your attention and your hard-earned doll hairs. This is one of those occasions. The 𝗦𝗣𝗘 𝗦𝗑 is a small, extremely portable headphone amp for practicing your guitar, but where this product really punches above its $109 price tag is not only does it have the majority of features that you've come to expect from their multi-effects units, like the amp modeling, effects, and being able to load your own IRs, but it can also do things like connecting to your phone via Bluetooth, and yes, there are two Bluetooth connections. One for connecting to the app and the other to stream audio from Spotify or wherever back to the 𝗦𝗘 𝗦𝗑 for practicing your downstrokes to Master of Puppets. You can also connect to your computer via USB-C, and it'll act as an audio interface, and the editor will allow you to load in your own audio files for practicing your clunky solo on your band's new single that has taken 6 months to mix and master. And where was I going? Oh yeah. The 𝗦𝗘 𝗦𝗑 is about the size of one of 𝗦𝟑�X's wireless units and has an ultra-low latency of less than 1.2 milliseconds. It has a dynamic range of 103 decibels, supports not only stereo headphones, and yes, you heard that correct, this little guy does have stereo effects, but it also supports TRRS connections like my old school AKG earbuds that have a microphone and are made for cell phones. The reason for supporting this connection is there is an option to loop back your audio over USB and use your microphone that is built into your headphones if you wanted to do something like live stream yourself to Instagram Live. You also have 7 presets that you can switch with the large button on the face of the unit or through the editor that is supported on both phones as well as computers. And if that wasn't enough, you can even program the changes if you are using the editor's jam track feature to play back to the included, or as I mentioned earlier, preloaded audio tracks. The 𝗦𝗘 𝗦𝗑 has approximately 5 hours of playing time on its built-in battery, weighs just 70 grams, and boasts a 32-bit, 48 kilohertz sample rate. But enough of the jargon and ranting, I'm sure the majority of you just want to hear what it sounds like. So I'm going to use the editor on my iMac, go through some of the tones, and then I'll give you my final take on this thing. Let's go plug it in. What's up guys, I'm at my computer. I have the 𝗦𝗘 𝗦𝗑. I just want to show you some of the features that you could do with the 𝗦𝗘 𝗦𝗑 that I think are pretty cool. Let's go ahead and start by turning it on. You just press that little side button there and this light will flash. Now, one of the interesting things about the 𝗦𝗘 𝗦𝗑 is you can use it as an audio interface by plugging in a USB-C cable to it. So let's go ahead and do that. And normally how you would do this is you would use the headphones from the 𝗦𝗘 𝗦𝗑 to monitor yourself. But the way that I am doing it in this video is I'm actually monitoring myself through Reaper by using input monitoring. So that's why I'm not wearing headphones. Let's go ahead and open up the 𝗦𝗘 editor here. Now this editor does work on a PC, Mac, or on your phone, both Android and Apple. So this is what the editor looks like when you load it up. It sounds okay. Let's make a patch from scratch. I just rhymed. That was awkward. And then let's just dive right in and see what amps there are. What amp did I like in the MG30 that I know I'm gonna like here? Probably dual rectifier. Let's just try the dual rectifier. It's a little chuggy. Let's mess with these settings here a little bit. I'm gonna try loading up my own impulse response here. So if you go down to this IR section and click this open, you can click one of these little blank spots here, click the download button, and you can load up one of your own impulse responses. The gain sounds really harsh, and it's not the amount of gain that I'm using. Let's go into our settings here. So you can see in the settings, we have our options for MIDI. We have USB settings, record level, and playback level. And you can see the different routing options here, and they have little diagrams to help you out if you're not sure which one you should use. I'm just using the normal mode right now. Let's try a different amp. Okay, so being really aggressive with this high cut is really actually helping out quite a bit.
Okay, I like that. Let's stick with that for now. We do have an EQ in here. And one of the things that I found that was certainly true in the 𝗦𝗔𝗘𝗖𝗓 was that utilizing your EQ had a tremendous benefit to the amp. Let's see if that has the same deal here. We'll go to this 10-band EQ. And with this EQ, I just like bumping the lows a little bit right before the IR. I found that to be really helpful in the 𝗦𝗔𝗘𝗖𝗓 as well. Let's go ahead and throw a boost in front of this and just see how well this does with a boost. We're gonna go tried and true tube screamer, drive all the way down. We'll keep the tone in the middle, turn the level up. And if I'm being totally honest with you guys here, it is not my favorite tone in the world. For practicing, I think it's great. I don't think that this is gonna end up on any records or anything like that, but that's probably not why you're buying one of these things anyways, right? Let's go ahead and save this. We're gonna click this little save button here. So that way we can recall this preset. And another interesting thing is you can click this button on the front of the unit to change the presets, and you can see that happening in the app in real time as I click this. So that's pretty cool. You have 7 different presets, which is a lot of presets, especially for a headphone amp. And with this preset, I just want to see if I can get all of these effects going. We're not going for the best tone ever here. I just want to see, you know, kind of how crazy I can get all this stuff. So we're just using the deluxe reverb amp here. Sounds fine for what we're doing. We already have the delay engaged and the gate. Let's just go ahead and engage the compression as well. We're not really gonna use much compression. I'm just engaging it to see if we actually max out the DSP by doing so. And same thing with the EFX here. Certainly made things dark here. We're gonna have to go back into the amp. And one of the things that's true with the 𝗦𝗘𝗘𝗶𝗹 that I'm noticing, that I noticed with the 𝗦𝗔𝗘𝗖𝗓 as well, is these knobs are really synergistic, meaning like if you adjust one, it sort of affects the other ones as well. So that's something to consider while you're dialing things in. The IR here, we'll just load up our own IR again. Let's go into the delay here. Okay, so we're gonna go with the tape back, which is one I really like. And you can see there the time drops on the repeats. That's kind of nice. It's kind of a cool effect. I like it. Let's actually add this over here. We're gonna turn this EQ block on. We'll just go with a 6-band EQ and we'll boost some of the high end. Let's drag this mod block after the E effects and in front of the amplifier here, and let's see, let's try the stereo course. And you do have stereo effects with the 𝗦𝗘𝗃𝗋. One of the cool things about it being in stereo is when you're monitoring back a song, which we will do here in a second, I'll show you guys that, you actually get it in stereo, which is nice. It doesn't sum the song to mono. Again, I'm not going for, you know, an insane tone here. I just want to max the DSP out. Turn the reverb on. Let's go with the shimmer. If you know me, you know I am a fan of shimmer reverb. Sounds really, really nice, and we're using every effect in the chain right now with no issue whatsoever. So that's pretty cool. Let's save this patch just for funsies. Let's go back to patch 1. I'm gonna use the button to go to patch 1 here. And I'm actually gonna use the app to do this, but what you can do is there's a jam track feature in the app here. You have backing tracks that are built in, like you have this pop C. Let's try the metal in E minor. And then we can open up the Bluetooth settings in the app and adjust the EQ for the playback. So for example, if you want to practice to those tracks, but the other cool thing is we can open up Spotify here, and I'm going to load up one of my band's tracks. So this doesn't get demonetized.
Okay, here are my final thoughts. I am very impressed by the 𝗦𝗣𝗘 Pro. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, there are a few caveats though. One issue that I have is really just the attention to detail needed to dial in a high gain guitar tone. Maybe it's their proprietary white box modeling, or maybe the controls are just too sensitive, but I found it kind of tricky to dial in a high gain tone without getting some pretty harsh top end. I'm also using EMGs, which are pretty high output, but I don't think that should be a consideration since a lot of guitars out there in the wild have EMGs. And if you're not used to dialing in something where the tone stack is synergistic and all the knobs affect each other, or that just sounds like too much of a hassle for you, then you might want to steer away from this.
However, my big issue with the 𝗦𝗣𝗘 Pro is that you can't connect to Bluetooth earbuds. And I know, this seems small, but I know from previous reviews of similar products that this was a big irritation for other people as well. And here's the thing, there is Bluetooth support. Not only does the 𝗦𝗣𝗘 Pro connect to your phone via Bluetooth, but your phone can actually stream audio from Spotify or your preferred streaming service back to the 𝗦𝗣𝗘 Pro. And you have all sorts of controls like EQ and volume that can customize the playback and practicing experience. So why not support Bluetooth earbud connections?
So all in all, I think it's an awesome product for the money, and I fully plan on taking this thing with me for the impromptu jam session on my next vacation.
All right, if you guys like this video, do the things. If you really like this video, there's all sorts of things you can do down in the description below as well, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.